And probably censor me like crazy. Hey everyone. I'm gonna see if it's gonna censor me, but we will see. Facebook is putting me in weird Facebook jail. It says there's a problem with your account. Some destinations won't get comments. I don't know. It says some destinations won't get comments. I don't know if I won't get comments here on Facebook. I don't even know it's on Facebook at this point. So we will see. 4 is better than none, right? Hey, everyone coming in. I'm going to give it a minute and see. It's probably going to censor me like crazy because I'm in like quasi Facebook jail right now. So it's crazy. I don't even know if this is streaming to Facebook. If you're on Facebook, let me know. Or Fakebook, I should call it. See if I can see the comments. Hey, everyone. Give it a minute. See if it'll let people in. It's been a long week, that's for sure. I lost someone who I loved so dearly. She was the most amazing human on this planet. There's a lot of amazing humans on this planet, but she was one of the good ones. So, but I'm going to see if this will send out notifications or if I'm just going to get censored like crazy, like usual. So, hey, everyone. I think it's going to censor me. So I am just going to get into it and then hopefully I can just kind of download it everywhere else. But so many people keep asking me what they can do. And, when you lose someone that you really like love and cherish and care about, like I did this week and found out about it, I had a therapist, and hello from Ohio. Hi, Tanya. I had a therapist who I just loved dearly, and she didn't let me get away with any kind of crap, which I loved about her. My kids called her their Jewish grandma, and she just was a really amazing human and helped me kind of grow up to be the woman and warrior that I am today. So I've been thinking about a lot, and people keep asking me what they can do. Hi, y'all from Greenville, Tennessee. Hi. People keep asking me what they can do, and I've thought a lot about this. And Oklahoma loves you too. Pastor Granny, I love you too. People keep asking me what they can do and all this stuff, and I believe strongly in the Jericho walks. I have talked about them often, and I used to post about them every month, so people could do Jericho walks every month. And I believe in the Jericho walks. I think that they are something that everyone should do. And if people don't want to go protest or anything, you can go and pick a place and go pray, walk around it for 6 days, and then on the 7th day walk it around it 7 times and pray that it falls. And I do strongly believe that DC is somewhere where we eventually all need to go, and stand outside of DC and arm in arm. And I've said this before. Someone had posted on my Telegram that I think it was like 1,000 people needed to be that could surround DC, and we could all pray for it to fall. And so, one of the things that we all know is corrupt is the court system and the courts. And I have been dealing in multiple states, corruption in the courts. And, one thing that we can do is call the courts and call the attorney generals. And one of the issues is in Texas, there's a county, it's called Bear County, and you can look it up. It's spelled Bexar. I thought it was Bexar County because it's spelled like that, but it's apparently called Bear. So it's Bexar. And I had did a show with Max about a case, before, and there's multiple cases in this county and the corruption. Now everyone knows who Ken Paxton is. He's the attorney general in Texas, and he was on trial, and he went on the news live and basically said that he was so against the Bush regime, and that the Bush regime is that he is standing up against. Well, I'm here to tell all of you, and if you've ever shared any of my videos, I'm praying that this is the one that you share and you ask everyone to share. And it's funny enough, is this is the one I'm being most centered on. I'm sure the deep state was listening to my conversations prior to this. I was talking to Doug Heisel, and every time him and I talk, our calls drop and crazy shit happens. Part of my language, but I'm just exhausted and crazy stuff happens. And so I'm sure because two former felons talking on the phone, you can't have that because we're so crazy. So anyway, him and I were on the phone, and I said, let's do a show together. And so I'm like, let me do a show real quick. And Ken Paxton says he's against the Bush regime. Well, he has a lawyer. Her name's Aurora Salina Perez. And Aurora Salina Perez, there are people that have challenged the jurisdiction of these Bush regime courts that Ken Paxton says he's so much against. And they've challenged the jurisdiction. They did everything that they can to challenge it. And basically, have said, listen, these courts are a corporation. They have an EIN and DUNS number. They are a corporation. And so we're going to challenge the jurisdiction because you don't have jurisdiction over us. Well, those courts could care less. And so the people that are in this court right now have now since hired attorneys because the judge on these cases, her name's Christine Del Prado, refuses to hear any motions that have been filed on challenging the jurisdiction of the cases, which is illegal and unlawful. And we all know that these courts are corrupt. And I've said it a million times, these courts are corrupt. And so Christine Del Prado refuses to hear these motions. And so some of these people have went and they have trials coming up within the next 10 days, and they have hired attorneys. Well, Christine Del Prado, the judge, has now in this Bexar County denied due process of even their laws and statutes and codes, and denied them attorneys, and saying that the attorneys, that she will not grant a continuance so the attorneys can prepare for trial, and that she is going to deny them due process of the law. And so, guys, you always ask me what you can do. I want people to start calling this court. And listen, if you're watching me, I know a lot of people have that watch me have family cases and court cases and different things. Post it here. Tell us where the court is. Tell us who the judge is. Tell us all of that. And let's get an army together, and let's start letting these courts know that we know that they're a regime and we're watching. I mean, innocent people are going to prison, and it's crazy because they're not even following their own statutes and codes, guys. This is literally, we're in communism, and this is just like it's crazy. And if we don't stand up and listen, you don't have to go to the courts. You can call them, you can email them. We start calling the lamestream media. I mean, hey, Democrats love they hate Ken Paxton because he's a Republican, apparently, supposedly. So you start calling the lamestream media and saying, why do these courts that don't have jurisdiction are basically coming on here and denying due process of certain people in this court, and denying them the right to counsel. And then when you represent yourself and you challenge the jurisdiction, they refuse to hear the motions on challenging the jurisdiction. So listen, Ken Paxton says he's against the Bush regime, and I got so much hate because people are like, oh no, Ken Paxton is amazing and he's against the regime. Listen, he's not. He is the regime. Why does his lawyer, Aurora Salina Perez, who's in this Bexar County court and people that have challenged jurisdiction, he's basically going and allowing them people that they're prosecuting due process of their own statutes and codes. Here's what's happening, guys, is they're literally, you can challenge the jurisdiction of the court and it doesn't matter because they don't care about the true law. Okay. Then you can go get an attorney and they're corrupt courts, and they don't even care about that because now you've pissed off the judge, that you've challenged the jurisdiction on the court. And so now the judge is pissed off. She's going to deny you due process. And basically, it's guess what? We're going to just put you in prison no matter what. We're going to come after your STQV trust and everything else. So, it's really sad. I mean, this is the one that I get so censored on, and it's the most important one at this point for me, of like, people ask me what you can do. Call these courts, email the courts, call Ken Paxton, email Ken Paxton. If this man is really against the regime, then why is he allowing in courts that have done numbers and EIN numbers and coming after him? So, if you're going to do anything, this is what I ask people to do. Or you can do the Jericho walks, but, it doesn't take much to call and email and let these courts know that the public is watching and that the public is over it. And that we, the armed resistance, is over it, that the biggest armed resistance here in America is done with all of the regimes and all of these courts and all of the district attorneys and all of the attorney generals and all of it, and saying enough is enough, and we're gonna stand up to it, and that's it, and we're freaking done, period. And if you can't do that at this point, then I've given up on America, because if we can't stand up to these courts and we can't tell them that this is not okay and enough is enough, and we can't say like, hey, this is done, no one's coming to save us at this point. And Trump gave us the power. I've said this a million times, yet we the people are so freaking indoctrinated by these pulpit pimps and the whore churches and everything else. And we're so indoctrinated by what they've told us, and we sit here as complacent and as complacent can be, and we don't rise up. And someone said to me today, and I don't want to say his name, but he said to me, why are we fighting for our Constitution? And I was like, it kind of was like, what? Like, what is he talking about? And then he really made sense. We should be fighting for our freedoms. The Constitution, our original Constitution, that really, I don't even think most people know what the original Constitution is, because every state has a Constitution. The amendments didn't come in until years after 1776, and we fought for our freedom, didn't come into place. And so the Constitution that was written after 1776, guess what? This person said it again. I'm not going to say his name, but I really think he's just intelligent, and he's fought a lot in different scenarios. But I our forefathers would be shooting people by now, is what he said. And I'm like, wow. And I am not encouraging anyone to go shoot anyone or anything like that. I'm definitely not encouraging that at all. But I mean, he's right. And so, I don't know if people want to freaking stand up, and let's stand up to these courts. Why are we allowing, what people think, because Ken Paxton said the right thing on the lamestream media, that he's on our side, yet he's an attorney general that is making money off of prosecuting people in these corrupt courts that have done numbers and EIN numbers. Guess what? That no court should have a done number or an EIN number. And so people ask me what they can do. This is what I'm asking you to do, is start calling the courts. If you have a case, let us know what the court case is. Post it on my Telegram or social media, and I'll post it on my main page, and tell us who to call and what the issue is. And let us start coming together and telling these courts and telling the attorney general and telling these people that we're coming together, and let's stop fighting. Who gives a crap what you believe? Republican, Democrat, liberal, who cares? The politicians don't give a crap about you or me. And we all need to start coming together, because they're stealing our kids. They're enslaving the people that are innocent. And it's really disheartening, because I've watched over the past couple months in some of these states and counties, and the kids that need protected, they're charging the people that are the innocent ones, and the pedophiles and everything else they're protecting. And it's really just kind of disheartening and sad. And it's kind of crazy. So anyway, people ask me what you can do. This is what I'm asking you to do. And if people can't stand up in this way, then at this point I've given up on America, because if we can't stand up and come together, and even at this point, I was talking to a friend today again, and he was saying, like, we want to do a show on this too, but if we can't come together and get our supporting the local farmers and stop supporting the like the big, Amazon and Target and Walmart and King Supers and Safeway and Ralph's and HEB and all of these grocery, like these big change grocery stores. If we can't come together as a community and start colonizing, I mean, come on, guys, in Texas and Houston, I mean, the illegal immigrants have colonized. If they can colonize, why can't Americans? It takes 144 people to make your own city, and then you can kind of police yourself and everything else. It's time to stand up to the system, and it's time to stand up to the regime. And these courts are, and I've talked to so many people, and everyone that wants me to help, and it's like, man, I'm one person, and yeah, I have a team, but I can't help everyone. And everyone thinks that I'm just like, I can go and help everyone. I can't. Like, I wish I could, but I can't. And these nonprofit organizations that have millions and millions and millions of dollars, we don't have it. I mean, we're struggling. We're struggling to keep food on the table for these babies and keep them safe and give them mental health care and healthcare and everything else. And so, I can't do all of it. And so this is what I'm asking. And this is just basically, you know, a cry out for people to stand up. And so, I'm hoping that people come Monday will reach out to Ken Paxton and say, "Hey, why are you allowing people? Why are you allowing your courts to one the bear count? Look, I encourage everyone that watches this and shares it with everyone. Go look, just go Google. And I know Google sucks and whatever, but it'll come up. Go put in Google or DuckDuckGo or Brave or whatever you look, and type in Bear County corruption and see the corruption. Even today in these courts, a defendant that was on trial got attacked. Like, I'm sorry, you can't even like control your courts. You can't even control your courts, and someone physically got attacked who was in custody, and that was today. Go look it up. Go look up Bear County corruption. It's Bexar, and go see the corruption that's in this county. And Ken Paxton and his Assistant Attorney General Aurora Salina Perez is in this court, and people are challenging the jurisdiction on this court, and they're just like, basically, we're gonna put these people in prison, and then we're going to deny them due process of their statutes and codes of the right to an attorney. They're not going to let an attorney prepare for trial at all, and so they're just basically going to be like, okay. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Texas Attorney General Office is 800-252-8014. Ask for Ken Paxton, or hey, ask for Aurora Salina Perez and ask her why she's continuing to allow this case, like these cases, to go on. It's just crazy. So anyway, that's it. Was so censored. I think I had at the most like 15 people on here, but the 9 people that are on here, I love you to death, and I mean, I love everyone, and I just pray that you guys stand up, because one thing that this week has taught me, when you lose someone that you truly love and care about, is that, you know, we got to fight for each other. We gotta stand hand in hand. We gotta stand arm in arm. We gotta come together. And who cares about all the other issues? They're wanting us to care about other countries and all of this stuff. But guess what, America? It's time to come together. And it does not matter whether you are a Republican, a Democrat, a libertarian, a freaking, I don't care. I don't care if you're who you're sleeping with, or whatever, because we all have to look into our own hearts, and we shouldn't be judging everyone else. And and I'm not saying, like, you have to agree with everyone. You don't. But if we don't all start coming together, and we don't all start coming together and rising up against the system, we're lost. And what I'm seeing right now, it's disheartening, it's discouraging, and it's sad. And so, all the other issues, they're pitting those issues out there, so we come up against each other. But really, what I've learned, and something my therapist taught me, is if you actually listen to people and truly hear them and listen to them, you might have something in common. And you could agree to disagree on certain issues, but you have to really truly want to hear someone's heart and hear what they have to say and not want to be right and not want to be this, not want to be that, and just really like hear what they have to say. I have friends where we don't agree on all issues, but guess what? We love each other and we just agree to disagree, and we move on because we know that together as friends, if they need something or I need something, that we're gonna be there and we're stronger that way. You know what I mean? So, she said a better number, Sherry. Thank you, Pastor Granny, everyone. 877-673-6839 for the attorney general, and for the locals in Texas, 512-463-2100. And there, all of these numbers are in the comments, guys, and I'll post them too. So, anyway, listen, I pray that you all stand up to Ken Paxton. He's not on our side. And if you have a case that you want me to post and you're fighting the system, whether it's a custody system, I don't care if you're a mom, I don't care if you're a dad. I know the system really is stacked against a lot of dads, depending on what state you are in. And I know that there's some amazing dads out there. I've seen it. And I know there's amazing moms out there and there's amazing grandparents. And so, if the system is stacked against you, post it and let's all come together. Let's, like, if they know that the public is done and over it, then change can happen. So anyway, that is all for tonight. I'm exhausted. I fought the system all day today with multiple people, and I saw the corruption firsthand, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm over this. So I think the deep state, the Illuminati and fake book, and everyone else knew that I was going to come and talk about this because I had called Doug right before. I'm like, let's do a show, but he couldn't today, so I was like, okay, let's do it tomorrow. So anyway, I just, let's stand up to the system. I love all of you, and we got to come together. Really, that's it. We got to come together. So I pray you all have a blessed night. And in honor of, like, Sharon, who was my therapist, I do want to tell everyone, I mean, she was such a beautiful woman and a beautiful soul inside and out. And she taught me to not be a victim, and she taught me to be a fucking warrior. And I'm going to stand up. I'm going to stand up to the system. And I pray that I can help other women and other men and everyone else stand up to the system and to become a warrior, and that we can all come together because, the fighting and then everything else. And it's like, let's come together. Let's protect the innocent, and let's protect the babies. And let's protect the elderly because they have the wisdom that we don't have. So that's it. So I love you all, and I hope you have a good night.